All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start on the hood today. Try to pull a couple of these little dents out and see if we can't make life a little easier on ourselves whenever it comes to body work. So we're gonna get our dent puller out, do a little PDR. We'll do a time lapse on that, and then up here we're gonna have to tap this down and put a little filler on that also. So as some of you know, I had a subscriber that sent me a set of wheels for the car. So Ash Hayes 18 sent a set of 93 Cobra wheels to me to use on the car. He said he wasn't going to use them, so he sent them to me, and I was more than gracious to get these things. I mean, super excited. But as some of you know, but not all of you know, factory 93 Cobra wheels don't really work on a GT or anything other than a Cobra. Now, I don't know the specifics. I just kind of glanced over it, trying to figure out what was going on. You know, as some of you know, the rear axle in the 93 Cobra is wider than the GT, the LX, everything else. From what I understand, it's like out of a Thunderbird, put the 93 Cobra wheels on the car, and they just like completely went up under the car. Like they're like a mile up under the car here. So looks like the damn thing's tubbed out. So it's not gonna work. Hey, I'm no Fox body guru. I make mistakes. I never knew that there was a difference in the width of the rear ends on a 93 Cobra, so that's my bad. Since LMR is out of stock, Ash hooked me up, sent me a set of 93 Cobra wheels. Now, he told me in the conversation that these are stock 93 Cobra wheels. I said, cool, I have no issue with that. Well, I was unaware that they're 7.5, and then the ones that LMR sells are 8.5. I just, you know what, I've never had a 93 Cobra, so I didn't know. Anyway, I got on LMR's website to see what size tire they sold with the wheel. Bought them, had the wheels here and the tires here the same day, so I went and got them all put on, and that's kind of how this came to be. Stuck them on the car, and boy. So for those of you who want to put a set of 93 Cobra wheels on your GT or your LX or whatever, you can run a spacer, but it's not the same. All right, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and turn the camera around and show you why we are not going to be running these wheels. I hate to kind of spoil it for you, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna spoil shit. Yeah. So that's what we've got here, guys. So I know you wanted me to run the 93 Cobra wheels. I get it. I wanted to run them myself, but guys, we can't do this. I had to message him and tell him to give me a call. Guys, this is one of the hardest conversations I've had to have in a while. A man sends me a set of wheels free of charge, and then I'm gonna tell him that, hey man, thanks for sending me the wheels, but yeah, I'm not gonna use them. How screwed up is that? That's really bad. That was a really hard pill to swallow, but I manned up and I told him to call me. I said, look, we got an issue. I said, thank you so much for sending the wheels, but this is the issue. Let me tell you something, guys. Ash Hayes 18, if you ever deal with this guy, he is about as cool as they come. This cat is completely cool and understanding. He said, no problem, brother. He said, use them ever how you want to. They're yours. So, man, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for sending these wheels. And we'll get them figured out. We'll put a spacer on them. We'll probably have to get a different set of tires because these things look like rubber bands. That's all my fault. All on me. Every bit of this is my fault. We all make mistakes. You got to man up, though, and own up to the mistakes that you make, and you got to learn how to fix them. So we're going to put a spacer on this thing and you know, level the car out. The car's not level. So hopefully once we kind of get it leveled out and we get a spacer on the back, maybe change the tire size a little bit, it's probably going to look okay. We got to get center caps too. This is just not going to work for the big reveal. It's just not. On to something else. Guys, last night we were out here playing around because I'm freaking out. I'm like, these wheels are not going to work. Like, we can't do this. I can't show you guys this as the big reveal. We tried the wheels off of the Retro Fox. Now I know what all of you are thinking. No, please God, don't put anniversary wheels on the car. Guys, I thought the same thing. Let me tell you something though. I don't know why those wheels look sick on the Cobra Clone. They really do. I was blown away. And I think a lot of it's got to do with the difference in the ground effects. Just the way the ground effects bulge out more on the 93 Cobra stuff. It just looks really good. Plus my fenders are completely rolled, so they're cut and rolled. So I mean, I can really get the fitment on the Calypso Clone like money. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for you guys. For right now, these wheels are probably gonna go on the car, and they're probably gonna be on the car for the big reveal because I don't have any other wheels. That's it. I mean, I've got pieces of wheels around. I've got 2 wheels of this and 2 wheels of that, and a set of wheels that nobody wants to see on the car. So we got to do what we got to do. Those are probably going to be on the car for the big reveal, but I'm going to tell you something. They look damn good. They look good. So on to the next thing. We have to order a set of wheels, right? Now, I'm going to ask you guys your opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go with whichever gets the most votes. I am curious to see what your opinions are. So we have a set of staggered anniversary wheels over here that we can use on the car, and we know they look good. But we need another set of wheels. So do we buy the wheels from LMR, the 93 Cobra wheels, which have a better fitment? They're 8.5. They're going to sit out like they're supposed to. Or do we buy another set of staggered wheels that we can swap between these two cars? What I'm thinking of doing is buying a set of 03, 04 Cobra wheels like Andrew has for, well, either one of the cars. Doesn't really matter. We can swap them out. So staggered set, probably machine finished. 9 in the front, 10 in the back, just like Andrew has on the coupe. I put those on last night, put like 1 on the back. She looks good. I mean, it looks good. Plus, I mean, these are all Cobra wheels. Now, I get it that these are anniversary Cobra wheels, but still a Cobra wheel. Cobra Clone. It's all gonna work out. Either way, guys, I just wanted to explain that to you. I know I rambled a lot, but there was a lot to really cover in this. Ash Hayes 18, brother, thank you so much. Seriously, I really do appreciate that. There's not many people in the world that'll help you out like that. All right, guys, on to this. Now, the lighting's really bad in here, so you guys probably can't see anything, but that's fine. I'm just gonna get to work and try to pull some of these dents out. I'm gonna set you guys up over here, and let's see what I can do.
Caught staring like my destiny is topless. Focus level super saiyan, I'm locked in. Even death couldn't turn my heart right. A man's man, just like my pops is. The hustle comes standard, cause hustle's not an option.
Well, we're done with the glue pulling, and it helped some, no doubt, and I could keep going with it, but what I did was got the majority of it out. So the major dents, now we just have some, you know, slight waves and just smaller dents. So it's gonna be easier to work with when I put a skim coat of filler right here. And up here, I tapped this out because it was all beat up. So this has been tapped down into a low spot with hopefully the crown of the dent like really smooth. So that way we don't have a high spot around it. So hopefully this will work okay. Everything's been sanded that will have Bondo or filler on it with a 50 grit. And I'll know more about this once I sand the whole hood. But for now, I know this spot needed it. Over here was a gouge, so I sanded that out. There's gonna be a touch of filler there. Right here was a high spot, and basically I just rounded it off, so should be good there too. Obviously, I'm gonna hit this with some 50 grit, take all that paint off up there. And now comes the process of sanding it with like 80 grit to really see what we've got underneath all this paint. I really need the car as like a stand for the hood. I was gonna take the hood off, but it's gonna be really hard to work with. So what I think I'm gonna do is lay some blankets up under the hood, like let them drape over the fenders, and try to prop the hood up a little bit and just work on it like that. Shouldn't cause any problems. You know, I'm gonna stay away from the edges at least for right now. Get this thing knocked out. All right, guys, catch you in a few. So here we are. I'm sorry, guys, I forgot to press record, so you kind of, you know, didn't get to see all this, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and set up a time lapse right up on top of the car here for you guys, and let you watch me sand, because that is so fun. Anyway, it's looking pretty good. The paint looks like it's gonna flatten out all right. There's a couple little rust specks here and there that I got to sand out, make sure I get those out, and we should be good to go. I still have to sand the center of the hood, or most of it anyway, and then we're gonna get over into the filler side of it. Right now I'm only using 180, that's all I have, so that'll work. I really would prefer 80, but 180 will be all right. I'm gonna try to at least get the top of this hood done today, and maybe even just spray the top of the hood. But I don't know if I'm gonna have time to go ahead and get the bottom side of the hood done or not. We'll see. I can always come back, take the hood off, tape everything off, and do that. So I may just go ahead and do the top side today. It just really depends. I'd like to get this thing in paint though late this evening. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We've got our initial sand done, so now what we're going to do is go in and start with the filler. That's going to be the main thing that we want to focus on right now is getting this filler on and getting everything smooth. Then we can just block it out real quick and we should be good to go. We're gonna go ahead and get started on the filler and see how that works out. What I'll do, I'm not gonna do a time lapse for everything. What I'll do is once I get the filler on and probably start working it some, I'll come back out here and show you guys what we've got. We've got our first coat of filler on. So we're gonna let this dry up and go ahead and block it out. We're definitely gonna have to have some more, but shouldn't have to have too much more. I've got the top side of the hood pretty much done. We're just waiting on primer for that, but I went ahead, flipped the hood over, and we are gonna go ahead and start on the bottom side of this thing. Pretty much gonna scuff everything up with Scotch-Brite, clean it up real good. So we're gonna be buying a new hood liner to go inside of this at some point. So all we're gonna really do is just scuff everything up. We mainly just wanna make sure we get paint up in here. But of course, I'm going to go ahead and spray the whole thing. So if I can, we'll go ahead and get this thing in primer today, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once I get everything sanded up and cleaned up. And just like that, guys, we have a green hood underside. So as you can see, I didn't really spray the interior of the hood a lot. I just kind of missed it over it, which is absolutely fine for what we're going to be doing, because like I said, I am going to put that liner back on the hood. So I just wanted to shoot some green on it. There was no point in wasting a lot of paint. I don't have a lot left, so this is going to be perfect for what we are trying to do. Now in person it looks really good. On camera it looks like it's picking up like the streaks and stuff, the light and dark spots, but on the edges everything is covered really good that you're going to see. So I'm going to go ahead, let this dry, flip the hood over, apply some primer, and then we're going to block everything out. So I anticipate getting a little bit of overspray under the bottom of it. It's not been clear coated. All I have to do now is come back, shoot a little base and anywhere that got some primer, and we'll be money, guys. All right, I'll be back in a minute. We are one step closer, guys. We got primer on this thing. So the next step is to basically just block it all out, try to get this thing as smooth as possible. Now this is a poly primer, so it's gonna take a little while to dry, and it's really thick, so it's basically like sprayable Bondo. We went over this before whenever I was actually painting the car, but figured I'd tell you what it is that I'm using. It's just a polyester primer, and my gun, I tried to use one of my old guns, old cheap like Amazon gun, and it did not want to spray good, so it's kind of streaky. It's gonna be okay though. It's got a lot of primer over there in the spots that we were working on. We're gonna block this thing out, and I think it's gonna look pretty good. All right, I will be back here pretty soon, and we'll get started on this thing, blocking it out, and hopefully, if nothing else, at least get this thing into base coat today. Well, she has clear coat on her, but we tiger striped it. So as you can see, there are some light and dark spots. It's hard to tell really on base coat sometimes because it will stripe up on you. But this particular time, it striped up and it stayed there when I put the clear coat on. I thought it was just a wet and dry scenario going on, but yeah, there's streaks all over it. I really think the humidity is just killing me today. This paint is not flowing out. I should not really have cleared it, because there's a chance it's gonna dull up on me, but that's okay. No issues there. We're gonna let this thing dry up. Now I have to shoot the moldings. So the side moldings need to go ahead and get done. And yeah, we pretty much will be done for the most part, minus the fact we gotta redo the hood, but no problem there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these moldings. I probably won't film any of that, so I'll go ahead and get that done, get them painted, clear coated, and I'll get back to you guys in a few. Figure I'd take you guys out here and let you see the side moldings. They turned out great, of course. You know, all the little small parts always turn out great. That's just the way it seems to work. But yeah, they should look good on the car. As far as this goes, I think it is my gun. So the new gun that I have, I love this thing, but it is very finicky. The air cap is, you know, really small, as you guys can see, and also the fluid tip is very small. It's only a 1.3. And I'm not making excuses here, guys. I mean, I tiger striped that, no doubt. But that gun's been giving me some issues lately with metallics. Now with the solid, you don't really have to worry about it, but I think it needs a bigger fluid tip for metallics. You got to get right down on, you know, whatever it is that you're spraying to get the metallics to lay right. So I don't know what the deal is with that. My older DeVelvis over here probably would have been the gun to spray this with. It's got a bigger fluid tip and it puts the paint out. Probably should have just used that, but it's okay. Like I told you, we'll come in and sand all this down and probably just shoot a little more base and some more clear on it at some point. Not anytime soon. We have all sorts of new parts in. They're scattered all over the place. We have that. You guys already know what that is. These. So all this stuff is new that we're gonna have to get to at some point on the car, but for right now there's only, I think, one box that we need for the reveal. So as you guys can see, that's what I'm shooting for right now, is that big reveal. I keep mentioning it, but I need to get the car unveiled. I want to get it out, and that way you know what it is, you know what it's going to look like, and from here we can just make things better. But it's killing me not having this thing done. So hopefully we get these spacers in today. If they don't work, then we'll go ahead and throw the old 10th anniversary wheels on it, because I do know they look good. Also, last night I got the ground effects on. I forgot to tell you guys that, but I got those on, got them bolted down, got them taped up like they're supposed to, so should be good there. All right, I'll get back with you guys here in a few minutes. Well, guys, sometimes not everything works out. It's just how it goes, you know. At some point, you're gonna run into something that just kicks your ass. I have run into that, and what is that? Well, it would be this damn hood. So as you can see, it still has streaks in it. You know, I don't know, guys. I tried to respray it again, and now I've sanded it, so you can see some sand marks. I basically just went ahead and scuffed it back up again, ready for another coat of base, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. I've got too much other stuff to do. Got the body work done on it, so we're good. All it needs is another coat of base and a coat of clear. I think the humidity is part of the problem. My gun is acting up, and I'm part of the problem. I really don't know what the problem is. I've never had this issue so many times in a row. Basically, it's just tiger striping on me. I've changed pressure, I've changed guns, I've changed how close I am to it. It doesn't really matter. So either way, we're not going to harp on that. I have spent way too much time working on this thing. We will get to the hood. Hopefully I'll be able to get to it next week, but if not, it is what it is. So I think I'm just going to cut the day short. I'm going to get these wheels mounted on the car with the spacers, and that's about that, I think, today. The humidity's starting to rise. It's starting to get later in the day now, and humidity is just out of control, so I don't know what we're going to do. Either way, though, hopefully maybe later on tonight we'll be able to get these moldings on also. At least I hope. If I can get Andrew over here, get somebody to help me with it, we'll go ahead and stick these on too. Tell you what, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. I have so much footage of us getting the car ready for the big reveal that if I don't split this thing up, we're going to have a 30-minute video here. So let's go ahead, break it up. I'll have another video out middle of the week for you guys. As far as the hood goes, don't worry about it. We're going to get that straightened out. I'll get it figured out at some point. It's still not fixed yet, though, I will tell you that. And I've also shot the big reveal. So that footage is already shot. Turned out great. I cannot wait to get this out for you guys. So hopefully by Thursday or Friday, we'll have that video done. So I will catch you in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.